does this here fit into this estate trunk? And how good is the all-new BMW 5 Series Touring that will also come as the electric i5, but also with all the different powertrains? We're going to find out if this, probably one of the most German cars in the BMW lineup, also performs in this very generation. It's Thomas and in 4K, full screen, full length. Let's go. You've seen it. We are starting at the rear because you can already see the design of this new estate generation. These tail lamps here, nice three-dimensional design, go around. And then this is definitely new. So before, I would say the 5 Series Touring looked more estate-alike. Estate we say in UK, wagon in the US, and of course in Germany, Kombi. The famous German Kombi. Yeah, the Germans love their Kombis, and that's why the 5 Series here as the Touring is also a very crucial model, especially for the German market right here. The length with 5 meters and 6 is actually the same, just like the 5 Series sedan in new generation. And here we also have 21-inch wheels from that M Sport design. Yeah, I really love that design. It looks so complex, doesn't it? By the way, standard wheels would be 18-inch for the new 5 Series. Then 19-inch is standard for i5 and the plug-in hybrid models. And then optional 20-inch, 21-inch. These ones in here, the biggest one with 21. M Sport design means here the M badge at the side and also black around the frame. Interesting is that you have a lot of suspension choices. You start with a standard suspension, then you can go for a fixed M suspension, just a stiffer one. Then you get the Adaptive Suspension Professional, that is an adaptive suspension, plus the rear axis steering, where the rear wheels turn in the opposite direction than the front wheels. And you can get the Adaptive M Suspension Professional, that one then reserved for the top models, for example the M Performance model, that also then includes an anti-tilt control. And last fact about the suspension, yeah, you see this is kind of complicated at BMW. Here the i5 and also the plug-in hybrid models, they get air suspension at the rear axle as standard. And now we have it here in the front. That looks really spectacular. Let me tell you why. First of all, in the M Sport Pack, you have these black contrasts in the lower part. This vehicle, however, is equipped with the M Sport Package Pro. And that one also adds the black frame around the double kidney and also then here these black fins on the inside. Otherwise, even with a normal M Sport Pack, the frame would be bright and also bright fins. What I personally prefer, so I think when it's too dark, too sinister, I think it's a little bit too much. So I prefer more the base version look of the new 5 Series, no matter if sedan or touring. Tell me in the comments if you agree or not, if you're team dark or team bright. So, and then here the sensor field is in the middle part, really large, front camera. This and the I logo if you have the electric version, but other than that, it's more if you pick the M Sport Pack, M Sport Pro or the base version, how it looks in the front. And you've already seen it here. We can very well see that in the studio here, the so-called iconic glow that's also then included here in this very trim. Otherwise, you can also get it individually optional. And then his cool illumination around the double kidney. Yeah, that always looks pretty impressive, isn't it? It's not a necessary feature, but yeah, what is necessary with a high-end premium vehicle? That's always, of course, up to discussion. So I've just read these questions popping up. Thomas, what is actually this very color called? It's called Cape York Green. So it's not a light green, but it's also not a super dark green, something in between. Definitely a very unique color, isn't it? Of course, I would always order it in Thomas Blue, you know. Then, obviously it does not frunk. So this is a huge not engine cover. Shall we call it then the official not engine cover? It's also interesting, right? I have to think about this. Yeah, but obviously large vehicle, but no frunk. I think they should have offered some. What do you think? Headlamp detail, LED is standard, optional, adaptive matrix LED. It's also the one you can see here, and usually you would have that with a blue accentuation right here to see them. Then again, this is M Sport Pack Pro, where the blue accentuation is then blacked out again for this extended line. Sometimes it gets really complicated. Turning indicators in the front, really spectacular. Look at that. Here they replace the daytime running light, and they also have this pulsing effect, a little bit like a heartbeat. turning indicators in the rear, pretty cool, very visible. So this is in the hazard light mode at the moment, and the M Sport Pack here adds this black contrast in the lower part, really diffuser style. And indeed, no matter if you go for the electric version or the combustion engines, the styling on the exterior is always more or less the same. That's also the BMW strategy, that an electric vehicle doesn't scream out, hey, I am electric. It's just the same design across the lineup here. The blue frame around the logo, this is when you have a plug-in hybrid or an electric version, for example. So now, I have this standard measurement section here at Autogefühl, and this one looked so funny, I had to use it somehow. Yeah, but how do I do this now? Maybe the measures first and then the fun stuff, right? So, electric hatch is standard equipment, and listen to that. Do you hear that actually? Yeah, the point is you hear nothing. This electric motor to open the rear hatch is so silent, and they have indeed also worked on that. So that's pretty cool, because sometimes we have vehicles like SUVs or estates where you open the electric hatch and and it's like, oh, have I activated some Terminator or something? But here, super silent, I love that. And at the same time also, the hatch closing sound, that's also really remarkable. Let's listen to that. First of all, the measurements now. So the length of the normal part is 1.6 meters, and the width here, so this is a meter of 40 inches, but you can see it's way more even between the wheel arches. That is impressive. That's like 115 in meters, and that is like 45 inches. So that's a very good width result, and also the height, very important here, especially for dog owners, 70 centimeters or 27 inches. Then this release from the trunk is also standard. Wow, that's amazing. Look at that, how smooth it is. See that? Because sometimes we have release mechanisms where, it doesn't really, it stops like here and then you have to push. And sometimes we have these mechanisms that are, for example, at Mercedes, they always fold really quickly. There's so much force behind it that then when you want to fold it up again, you have to be really strong, and it goes like bang. But here, it releases, and then in the last moment, that's beautiful. So really like that. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? So the total length, of course, is missing. You see, this is a real touring review. It is, for sure. Here, the length to the driver's seat is 185 meters, 73 inches. Overall, very good measurements. Now, especially for the i5, where couldn't you put the charging cable? Yeah, that's a problem. No frunk, and also not too much space below here. But this is also very interesting. At least one thing that is very well working is, so the release for the top cover here is easier. Just push here, push there, and then you can easily get that out, and also you can easily store that underneath. Look at that. That's a super clean solution. Then you have this, here to pull it back. There we go, maximum setup. So this is the most important thing about this vehicle, and also how the hatch is attached right there. And it is beautifully done. And remember, this is also one of the very rare fully electric estates, wagons or combis on the market. And for that, I think it's the best and most versatile electric estate we have seen so far. Of course, the same for the combustion engine version, because that's also what they say. In every single powertrain version, it is the very same luggage capacity, 500 liters in the base setup, up to 1,700 liters as you see it right here, right now. And of course, the most important thing about this review, not that it's over yet, there's more to come, very interesting things from the interior. But here, this one here, the floaty, goes in there, fits very well. So, Well, and Leah is relaxing now from the hard camera work, so thank you so much to her as well. Oh, and you can also watch some movies on the iPad then, there we go. Next feature is one of the iPad holders, and I think it's also an easy solution just to put your own iPad there, right? Are you enjoying? Yeah. See you later. 구독, 좋아요, 알림 설정 부탁해요. What about towing? There is a button right here in the trunk, and look at that if something happens. And oh, there we go. Fully electric. That's cool. Very convenient indeed. And the towing capacity here for the base electric version, rear-wheel drive only, is 1.5 tons. However, if you go for an all-wheel drive electric version or for a combustion engine version, then it's 2 tons. And just the press of the button, let's see if it automatically goes back flawless. This is the key fob, M colors here. If you have an M Sport Pack, it's pretty light actually, the key. And then the door, you see here the door handle, you can close it like this. You maybe also heard that. Open it when you touch it underneath. And then they fold up like this, so they are integrated, flush. At the same time, they do give you haptic feedback, and I think that's a good solution. So then, closing sound.